You know, the pitch shot can really be an intimidating shot for many people, and in large part because you sometimes feel like you got to do something superhuman to get this ball up into the air. And there is a real up mentality that you have when you start taking a club that's got some loft and you start seeing a shot to the green where you need this ball to stop, and we start thinking, okay, well, I got to get this up into the air. Actually, you don't have to get it up into the air, and your mindset thinking up is crushing you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and tell your friends what we got coming on over here on our channel. So here's what's happening. When you come into this shot and you start trying to get this ball to get up into the air, you start going into what I call side bend, or what a lot of people call side bend. You start dropping your trail shoulder back towards your trail hip. And the first touch or low point or brush point or whatever you want to call it is happening well behind the golf ball. And so when you do that, depending upon the firmness of the property, by the way, you can hit this fat or thin. And you can get a variety of outcomes. When you hit it fat, it doesn't go anywhere. When you hit it thin, it goes far past wherever it is that you're trying to hit it. So you kind of come in and you do this where you go, and that thing is just, first of all, it's nasty to watch. And second of all, it's not a very productive shot. Now, I've talked to you before in past videos on how the trail shoulder has got to move through the shot. And that's a really important part of getting out of hitting this thing up into the air, right? You start thinking about that trail shoulder as it moves through the shot, and it's almost getting your trail shoulder over your lead foot, and that can deliver a very consistent loft to the golf ball, and you can get a very productive shot. But I want to give those of you that are sort of visual learners and more spatial in your thought process an idea that I know is going to help you. And it's something that I think about when I hit these shots. Now, Gibbsy, if you could pull that full for a second and look at that shot, and what you see is that there's a trace on that. It's a pretty straight shot. If anything, it might have a little bit of a hook in it, but the sort of the blurry red line is the start line, and then the thick red line is sort of when it ends. Here's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about, go ahead down the line here if you would. I want you to think about taking the club and coming across the golf ball, literally hitting a cut shot. Now, what happens when we hit a cut shot? When we hit a cut shot, the hands drop down later. So if I drop my trail shoulder to my trail hip, my hands are going down. When I cut across it, my hands actually move out a little bit, and then they start moving down. Okay? So by doing that, what I do is I move the low point a little bit more forward. So when I go like this, now the brush point is happening up here in front of the golf ball. Okay? And there's much more body rotation that is taking place. Instead of tilting or side bending, trail side bend, my chest doesn't rotate. Now when I cut across it, I get the body rotation that I'm looking for. The other thing that happens is that when I go across, my hands are going down. I'm not lifting them up in the air where they feel like they're moving away. I'm driving them down. They will come up, but because they stay close to my body, they're not moving away. They're not lifting up. So what you want to do is get in here and hit a cut shot. Now, what's fun is this. First of all, spin rate went way up, but hang on in here and watch this go full. Look at that down the line. There's hardly any movement whatsoever in that shot. Yeah, it moved to the right, but it didn't move to the right a lot. Now, look at our side spin. The side spin there is 1,000 RPMs to the right. So I swung the club pretty fast. The ball speed was down off of the club head speed because I'm hitting a cut, so I'm taking some of that energy transfer of the club out of the golf ball. It doesn't go as far, so I can swing a little bit harder. But the other thing is that I increase the backspin, so it stops. So that thing flies out to 39 yards, and then it rolls out to about 42. So what is that, a 3-yard rollout? It's 9 feet. That lands, takes one bounce, and then boom, it hits the brakes because it's got 7,200 RPMs of side spin. So if we're going to swing across the golf ball, if I'm going to swing out to in, I've got to have this club face in an open position. So you grip this a little bit open, and then you cut across. Now, I might have hit this one a little harder than I wanted to, but I wanted to show you the cut across. And when you cut across it, now all of a sudden the spin rate's going to go up. Look at that spin right there. It's what, it's 7,700? It's called 7,800. Yeah, I know it went a little bit farther. I get it. But with that open club face, I've got a little bit more loft on it, right? So spin rate is going to go up. See if we do it again. This one might have been a little bit firmer as well. Spin rate, 7,400. Side spin, 1,100. Club head speed there was 53. So all of it is going up. I don't need that much hit. But what you're going to see when you cut across this thing is you will hit the ball first, because you're swinging across. Low point is forward of the golf ball. And the second thing is that your hands, as they stay close to my body here, my hand doesn't lift. My hand will lift. Go ahead down the line here. My hand will lift up when my hands work away from me. So when I drop my shoulder down this way and then I go to the ball, my hands go up. I have the up mentality is what is stealing spin. It's stealing consistency. It's robbing you of being able to predict the distance that you need to hit the ball. How hard does this need to be swung in order for it to make the ball go the distance that we want it to go? Set it open and cut it. Just think cut. Oh, this one is delicious. Watch this. Boom. All right, now check out what the spins were on this, because this was really, really fun. That's the best one that I've hit. So that's going to be the last one that I hit. 54, call it 55 miles an hour club head speed. The ball speed was down because I'm cutting across it. 47. Spin rate at 7,400. Then my side spin is at 1,347. That's additional stopping power. So that thing flies out to 38, rolls out to 40. It's like 6 feet. It's nothing. Go ahead and pull that full, Gibbsy. Look at that. That thing there has a little bit of cut motion to it, but it didn't move more than like a foot, maybe a foot and a half, which is nothing. You don't need to worry about it. So when you get in here and you're going to hit this shot, you've got that 40-yard shot and it's been given, cut it. Open the club face and get that thing going across. You're going to move the low point forward. You're going to hit the ball first. You're going to get predictable launch angles. That one there was sub 30, which is what I'm always trying to get. That was 26 degrees. Fabulous. Spin rate's going to go up. Confidence is going to go soaring, and you're going to love these shots instead of dreading them. Cut your next ones. See what happens. To improve all parts of your game, subscribe to my channel and click the link below.